this land was terribly degraded, and I've rehabilitated the rangeland now. And the way it is, there are two models which are put in place for the land to have regenerated the way it is. One is on a matter pertaining to holistic management. Two, and that's now what you can see here, is on farm managed natural regeneration. Across on the other side, you can see how my farm looks like. It did not used to look like this. It used to look like what you can see on the other side of the fence. So those were the two modules which are put in place in seeing to it that this land regenerated. As I'm talking with you now, I have my cows in this farm and I have my goats. I have also beehives because I'm a beekeeper, and already I've started getting products from the beekeeping, that's honey, milk from goats and cows, but I still also have animals for meat, goats and cows, and I do sell them in the market. They fetch very good prices. I started off by healing gullies, and gullies can be healed by terracing them with the stones, pruning trees, then using the shrubs from the trees on areas which are badly degraded. That's now the module which are used in natural regeneration. But the first thing in natural regeneration normally, farm managed natural regeneration, fencing is an issue. I started off with fencing. After fencing now, so that there will be no animals or people intruding in it, then now I started working on that issue of farm managed natural regeneration. Then there is also this issue of holistic management. After fencing, I paddocked the land, grazing is controlled seriously. That is, animals move from one paddock to another. And that is exactly how I wanted the pastoral people to do. That there are areas whereby they conserve, so that during times of hardships, that is drought, they have where to go to. So planning is an issue, and that is actually what I want to bring to this into their minds. Two, conservation also. Managing those lands so that an issue pertaining to carrying capacity of the animals in that particular piece of land is actually observed. Like me here now, what I'm doing is, in this piece of land of mine, I get the locals who are living next to me, who are my neighbors. We want them to replicate, do exactly the way I've done, so that their land can regenerate. There is no any broadcasting of seeds which I have done. All the grasses you see here are natural. So when the land which was degraded recovered, because it was well managed, the grasses which were originally here are what now you can see here. There is nothing exotic, meaning that there is nothing which are brought from outside. So I'm sure with the assistance of Action Aid, because Action Aid now has ventured in, training them, providing tools so that they will do it for themselves. I, for one, am just a trainer who will be facilitating those workshops, meaning that my major role is facilitation, and the major role of the participants will be, they will be acting as developers. That is, the actual job is done, and it is them who have done it. That's the way I've done it here at mine. What we term as development here, to see that pastures are in plentiful and water. And right now, that is what is being experienced here. Time has come when they have to plan for grazing, conserve the rangelands for their future generations. Because pastoralism, if an issue pertaining to planning, conservation is not addressed to, then pastoralism has no future. Climate change is no longer a nightmare. As we are here, it is a reality. So, this is now the right time when we shall start addressing issues pertaining to climate change. And exactly that is what a number of organizations are doing, and already Action Aid in this particular region has pioneered on issues pertaining to climate change. And that is why we are involving the local pastoralists, so that climate change will not be a nightmare again, because it is a reality. And I just want to say this. Look at the trees which are planted here. Look at the grass which has grown here. It is the same grass, the same trees, which will reduce carbon, which was ejected into the sky by the industrial corporate companies in abroad. And actually, they destroyed the environment. But I, as a pastoralist now, am the person who is actually working on restoring this environment now the way it is.
Leo nimeweza kujifundisha vile kuhifadhi rasilimali asili na namna ya kutatua matatizo ambayo inafanya tunapata shida ya ukosefu wa nyasi na pengine ardhi kuharibika. Kwa kweli hizo changamoto ziko kule kwetu Burat. Kwa sasa vile nimesoma hapa nimeona kweli kumbe wakati hata kama ardhi ni mawe kiasi gani, tunaye suluhisho ya kwamba utaweza kuzuia mmomonyoko wa udongo na pia kutoa zile mimea ambaye hairuhusu nyasi kumea pale, unang'oa na kisha baadaye nyasi inamea na inakuwa vizuri. The first people wale tutaweza kumit ni vikundi za kina mama, kwa sababu naakilisha vikundi za VSLA ambazo wamama wanahusika katika hifadhi na hata kukusa nyasi. Ya siku mizozo ambayo tunang'ang'ania kwamba nyasi inaleta conflict kati ya makabila itaweza kupungua na hata mwisho wa siku itaisha kabisa.
Area imekuwa tu dry kabisa, lakini tumeshangaa tumefika hapa tumeweza kuona hii shamba ambaye ni mfano mzuri na ni mpangilio mzuri ya malisho ambaye imewekwa. Na tumeweza kupata mafunzo mengi sana hapa ambaye yatasaidia kwanza kwa mambo ya usalama kwa jamii ambazo zinaishi katika conservancy yetu.
If you try to look at the landscape of Ol Donyiro, hardly can you walk a kilometer or let me say 500 meters without a gully. And it's very important for the community to make use of the knowledge they have learned today through the PFS. And it is important for them to know field schools with these natural regenerations are more practical than even boardroom meetings or boardroom trainings, which I expect the same learning to continue and to be emulated in other areas.
Humanity is waging a relentless, self-destructive war on nature. Biodiversity is declining, greenhouse gas concentrations are rising, and our pollution can be found from the remotest highlands to the highest peaks. We must make peace with nature. Land degradation from climate change and the expansion of agriculture, cities and infrastructure undermines the well-being of 3.2 billion people. It harms biodiversity and enables the emergence of infectious diseases such as COVID-19. Restoring degraded land would remove carbon from the atmosphere. It would help vulnerable communities adapt to climate change, and it could generate an extra $1.4 trillion in agricultural production each year. This year marks the start of the UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration. Let us make healthy land central to all our planning.